Greg, how you doing? I love Collider.
Oh, thanks, man. We love you too. How you doing?
Oh, doing great. I'm actually going to be on the Witching Hour, I think.
With Perry and Haley.
Yes.
Oh, we look forward to it. I'll let him know. You said hello.
Yeah.
So, as a horror director, one thing I love about this film is how important love is, and their very real emotional relationship and partnership with each other. As a horror director, how do you approach these kind of more earnest expressions of love and romance? Was there any kind of learning curve or anything like that?
Great question. I think that the learning curve, I don't need the learning curve because I have such a wonderful wife who is, every day, if we're going to talk about that, I would say that, she's honestly, my rock. And, I think that, I think one of the reasons that I'm such a fan of the Conjuring universe, I'm coming at this movie as a fan first, is because I love the Warrens and I love their relationship. I grew up on horror movies, and so I'm always attracted to that. I think that the reason that I keep on coming back to this franchise, and I think other people keep on coming back to it, is because of the Warrens and their relationship and their love story, as unexpected as it is. And it is funny because it is so earnest. It is so true. And I think that that's, in a way, it's disarming. It was disarming to me in that first movie, how much their love and their faith drove them. Yeah, I grew up Catholic, but I'm also very much a skeptic. And so I think that, and I'm also so in so many ways a cynic. And I've loved watching their relationship grow.
Yeah.
Definitely not the intro that you're thinking about with a horror movie. Guys, this is ridiculously scary. I should probably emphasize that for Collider fans out there.
Let's get into the scares then. I'm curious, and I think a lot of our readers will be too, from a process standpoint, when you take a script and start crafting your set pieces and your scares, how much of that is kind of invented by you? How much of that is kind of baked into the script? What is it like taking a set piece or a scare from script to screen?
As extraordinary as a lot of the stuff is in the movie, it starts with the real story. The waterbed sequence is something that a lot of people have talked about. That started with the real story, the David's possession before the story even gets to Arnie. A lot of David's behavior, his possession, can be traced back to this incident when they moved into this house, and there was this bed. It wasn't a water bed, but it was this mattress that had this burnt stain that was mirrored on the very bottom of it on the floor. And David ran into that room. He had some kind of encounter that no one really knows what happened. And ever since then, he had been changed. Some people say he was possessed. Some people say it was something else. But all of these scenes are based on the real story, and we build off of that. I think that, for instance, with that story, with the bed, we evolved it into being a water bed. There was definitely some Nightmare on Elm Street inspiration within that. And you think about how to make these scenes visual, how to build tension, how to create that scary movie arc within the scene. But again, I think the power of it, honestly, The Exorcism is a scene that really affects people.
Yeah.
And we play the real recording of the exorcism of this young boy. We play it at the end of the movie. And I think it's just a good reminder. And it was a good reminder as we were making it that, believer or skeptic, whatever happened, there was something very real that happened to these people. And it was definitely emotionally real. And being able to just go back to that, I think that was one of those things that just, it anchored the movie and these scenes in reality.
Yeah, absolutely. My final question for you, as a director stepping into a franchise helmed by someone with such a strong voice like James Wan, how do you kind of walk the line of asserting or flexing yourself as a director, but still kind of maybe paying homage to what he did with the first two Conjurings? I'm
coming at it as a fan, and the last thing I would want to hear as a fan is we took it in a totally different direction and we just abandoned everything that was set up before. I wouldn't like that. And I want to honor this world and these characters, and I want to continue their story. At the same time, this is a very different case. This is a very different experience for the Warrens. It was from the very beginning, it was going to be a different film, whatever I did to it. So I was always just trying to, I tried to put ego and that flexing of style and all of that. I put that in the back burner because that wasn't important. For me, it was important to honor this world, to tell the story of the Warrens, and really fill this movie with surprises. I think that being a fan, you want that same experience, that first awesome, scary experience that you had with the first Conjuring movie, but you also want something different. That's the thing. It's always that push-pull, because if you get exactly what you got in the beginning, if we just did the clap game again, no one would be happy. It's like they want something different. We all want something different, and we want those surprises. So I think that's what this movie has, and I'm excited for fans to see it.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for your time. That was really great.
Yeah, thank you. It was great to talk to you.
Yeah, we'll see you at the Witching Hour. Thanks, Michael.